Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, under hazy, overcast L.A. skies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and our home team. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Taylor to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon.
We got this.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey's one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
From the 39, Taylor, and this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 38, Taylor. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Taylor. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They go play action now. Taylor sliding out of the pocket. They'll run it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Carr now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Joey Bosa in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Carr is going to fire one deep over the middle. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
44's Mike. Check.
From the gun, it's Carr. Sanders got it for a Raider touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. There he goes left side. And he He's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
That's our ball, baby. That's our ball.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Charger drive about to get going. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it, because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Throwing on 2nd down, Carr. And that'll be incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Shotgun now for Carr. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the 1st quarter. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Charger drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, That answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run it here with Gordon. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
It's Williams on the catch. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Check 3.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's caught by Sanders. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. From midfield, here's Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
To throw on third down. Carr. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 27-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Carr gives to Richard. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Touchdown, Raiders. The kicker on for
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go one more.
Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, Taylor. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Charger defensive unit making their way back out there. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Here's Gordon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Taylor will throw again. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Taylor. Gets it to Gordon. 4 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's 3rd down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Complete. Hunter Henry with the ground. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the short catch and flip the down mark.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started out in Denver. And late in the first half, it's the Broncos who are out on top. Rashard Higgins, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head east all the way to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott sharp in the victory as his guys get back within a game of 500. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Cam Newton, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. In our game has been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. His guys lead it on the road. So let's get you back to L.A., where I'll hand things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down now, it's Jacobs. And out across midfield down to the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Joey Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw his car, and he's going to go down again. And for the defense, their third sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Taylor cannot escape. He goes down in the end zone. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And an alley to run. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And Sanders has got it complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On second and very short, Carr. It's a screen to Richard. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
44's the mic. 44's the mic.
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr, and this is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Carr to throw again. Got a man. He finds Sanders. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
49, check 49, check 49. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now Gordon on 1st down. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's a quick throw caught by Allen. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Able to get this to Gordon.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
I'm going back to you.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check four, check four.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Taylor. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, it's been working on it for a little bit. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Taylor on 3rd down throws incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Richard, and tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's Carr to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here's Taylor. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down L.A. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now this throw caught left side. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a...
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Three buzz.
To throw is Taylor. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. The Chargers on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He wants it all for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Stick looks to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull it down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stick. He completes it to Henry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Ready to break. Ready.
Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And Gordon's going to be stopped short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Jacobs. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Watch the whip. He's coming. He's right, see. He's coming, double up. That's up. 56 to Mike, boys. 56. Check, 56.
From midfield, here's Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James. A sack from his safety position.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now Tyrod Taylor and the Chargers down by 5, 1:07 remaining. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. He's back to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
Back to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions are giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. So this one, a victory for the Raiders. So for the Raiders, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.